Hello, Steve White, Steve Arts 89. Well, we've had a bit of a development with the Charlie Kirk situation, and it's kind of what I was worried about. Because when I first heard about the murder of Charlie Kirk, and no, it wasn't an assassination because he wasn't a political person, he's not an activist, he wasn't speaking on behalf of some marginalised community, he was talking on behalf of the alt-right, the straight, white majority, the people that run everything and own everything and have all the power and have all the freedom of speech to the point of being able to make hate speech and not have any consequences for it, usually, or officially, or systematically. But yeah, so when I first heard about this, I assumed it was one of my community, and I did a video basically saying, I can see why someone in my community might have done this, because we are constantly under threat, and we have people like Charlie Kirk indirectly calling for our murder, and our disenfranchisement and victimization, and they know that people act on this, and they know when they say these things that people are going out and abusing and attacking and killing minorities. And some would say that makes them responsible for that. And part of that, I would say, well, they didn't ask that person to go out and kill that trans person, but, basically they did. So I did a video about that, sort of exploring how someone in my community might have felt this was self-defense, that, they needed to take that person out before he called for more people in our community to be, But then it turned out to be a straight white cis guy, and I'm like, oh, okay, he was raised in like a conservative MAGA household. I'm like, oh. And then it was suggested that he was uber conservative and that he took Charlie Kirk out because he wasn't fascist enough. And I'm like, wow, okay, that's interesting, and I'm glad it went that way instead of our way. And now it turns out, unfortunately for us, that this guy who murdered Charlie Kirk was associated with a trans person, and he apparently did it for them. Supposedly, he took Charlie Kirk out because he couldn't stand the hate anymore. And some people don't seem to be able to understand that, like Anna from the Young Turks was saying, I don't understand, so you couldn't stand the hate, so you killed him, like that isn't worse than hating someone. I'm like, yeah, but by the hate he means him calling for people to be assaulted or murdered, which is what's happening. Like I said, people are going out and acting on behalf of these people without them having to directly tell them what to do. They just know what to do. Or they assume and just use it as an excuse or justification. But this trans person didn't ask him to do this, didn't know about this, so it's not like the community knew about this and was plotting and celebrating it like it's being depicted. This person had no idea what he did or why he did it, and you can see from the text they're asking, did you do this? Why did you do this? And it's not confirmed they're in a relationship. Now, I think they referred to someone as love. And like I say love, sweetie, pet, dear heart all the time. It doesn't actually mean you're in a relationship with someone, but maybe they were, I don't know. But yeah, so apparently it was done on our behalf. We didn't ask for it. We didn't do it, we didn't ask for it, but some straight, white, entitled man did it because they felt entitled. They felt like, I guess they were being a straight saviour, or usually it's a white saviour where a white person does something on behalf of people of colour who didn't ask for it, because they feel entitled, and it's all about them really at the end of the day, feeling important. And yeah, so this is not good because they're already blaming us even when it looked like we weren't involved, but now we are indirectly involved. And I say we because when trans people get thrown under the bus, usually the rest of the community's dragging along behind them. So yeah, this is not good. I'm wondering now what the blowout is going to be. We were already being attacked and blamed for it, but now there's some direct link or indirect link, because like I said, this person may have been someone he knew, but they didn't ask him to do this. They weren't part of the planning. They didn't know what he was doing. But so yeah, like I said, if it'd been one of our community, I could have seen how they could have done it and justified it or felt that it was self-defense. And yeah, that wasn't the case though. It was a white person doing it because they felt, Charlie was, endangering us. And he didn't want any more of us to be hurt, didn't want any more hate to be spread. So I can understand that, but again, we didn't ask him to do that. We didn't need the blowback. Because what's fascinating with this is the way the white people are reacting or calling for war, or the right wingers are calling for war now against all the minorities, because this is one of the first times they've gotten blowback and they've actually been attacked for what they've said. Normally they can spew as much hate as they want and there's no consequences. This time someone who was spewing hate, had a consequence, the ultimate consequence, I guess. And they can't really handle it because when, George Floyd was murdered, the black community didn't, declare war. When the gay people were killed at the Pulse, club, the nightclub, we didn't call for war. But the straight white people are, because they just can't handle being in our position. They can't handle what's happening. But I'd love to talk more about this, but I can't because I'm a gay person who doesn't have the same freedom of speech and rights. So I have to censor what I say, and that's about as much as I can say. But I'm going to go. Feel free to share, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think of the whole situation.